When he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. Never thought I'd be standing here. It's a nightmare. Today, I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously, we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served, because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him. So I urge media one more time just to hold off on questions until we know that this person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done. So I ask you guys, I beg and plead of you, if you've known or if you see this story, all of you have seen this story, please hold that very close to you. Because I want to live this earth knowing that justice was served for my boy. And I know that you've seen pictures, you've seen stories, you've seen my little man. He is truly my hero. And I'm gladly giving that to you guys too, that he can be your hero. I've heard stories of people that have not prayed in years, that have finally fell on their knees to pray. And I know where my son's at, without a shadow of a doubt. So many families have been brought closer together because of this. I know my boy is special, and I've told my people and my family and friends that Gannon has a testimony, that Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story. So make that story magnificent, who my child is. And I'm putting my trust into you guys to do that. So thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing him with us.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I've been going back through some of my old Letecia Stauch videos just to see if there's anything interesting that I could possibly reshare again. Maybe edit down like some of the unimportant stuff in between and kind of like re-release some of the more interesting things that are relevant to the case. So this is from one of my old videos that I kind of just edited down for you guys. Now remember, if you hear some stuff that I'm saying and it sounds like, oh, this sounds like this is from like a couple years ago. Well, it is. The audio, besides like the intro where I'm explaining it right now. So in this video, I read stuff on Chance Hunt, stuff I could find at the time. And remember, Chance Hunt is Letecia Stauch's ex-husband and Harley's father. Mr. Chance MacArthur Hunt of 98 Shiloh Road was born August 1st, 1980 in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, that's the same birthday as Randy. Well, at least the date, August 1st. That's Randy's birthday. But anyway, it says, and departed this life on Thursday, October 2nd, 2014, in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was the son of the late Tammy Lamb Chavis and Claudie Mack Hunt. Mr. Hunt is preceded in death by his grandmother, Mary L. Morgan, and his grandfather, Horace Mitchell Lamb. His great-grandfather, Wallace Holmes, uncle and Aunt Early and Ann Locklear, and cousins, Elizabeth Davis and Jerome Locklear. He departed, leaving behind to cherish his memory his daughter, Harley Hunt of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. His biological father, Ricky Emanuel of Baltimore. His dad, Bill Holmes, and wife, Renee Holmes, and their son, Garrett. Stepfather, Ricky Chavis of Shannon. Brother and sister, Nikki Chavis and Shannon, and Ricky Chavis Jr. of Lumberton. He was a gentle and kind-hearted man. His presence will be deeply missed by his great-grandmother, Genova Holmes. He was the apple of her eye. Grandfather Warren Morgan Chance, uncle and aunt Winston and Arlene Lowry, his aunts Jan Lamb, Karen and Ronnie Locklear of Lumberton, Jamie Lamb, Paul Locklear, his uncle Horace, blah, blah. I guess I don't need to read all the names and stuff, but I just want to point this one out. It's his uncle Horace Mitchell II and Teresa Oxidine of Panama City Beach, Florida. So Panama City, Florida is about 2 hours away from Pace, Florida. And Pace, Florida is where they found Gannon. So that's one connection that she has to Florida. I mean, she was married to him. She probably knew some of his family. And then there's one more thing I want to point out in this obituary. On one of his cousins, it lists Landon. So I'm not sure if it's Landon, Gannon's mom, Landon. I guess it's spelled differently, but sometimes people don't spell names correct and stuff like this. I mean, you never know. Let me read read a little bit more of this here. Says, shared also the home. We were all blessed to be a part of your journey. He is also survived by who's your favorite cousin? Cousins Nicole Lamb, Jeff, Jonna, Dino, Juliana, Zaza, Nicholas, Tola, Landon, Christina, Latasha, Tanya, Dr. Katera Chavez, Jennifer, and Shawana. And it says their reply would be Chance. I think what they're trying to say in this is that if they would ask any of those cousins, who's your favorite cousin, that they would all say Chance. But it doesn't mention Leticia anywhere in this obituary. So somebody sent me his toxicology report. Somehow they got it. I'm going to read you off what was in his system when he died, what was listed in his toxicology report. So he was positive for benzodiazepines, which it was alprazolam, which is Xanax. For THC was positive for fentanyl, also positive for hydrocodone and ethanol, alcohol, so he was positive for alcohol. Okay, so that's it for the toxicology report. Okay, next I'm going to read you the petition for dissolution of marriage that Al Stauch filed to basically dissolve his marriage to Leticia. This petition is for dissolution of marriage. The marriage is irretrievably broken. Information about husband. Military. Husband is a member of the Armed Forces, Colorado National Guard. Current address. And it says length of residence in Colorado, 1 year. Information about wife. Date of birth, August 4th, 1983. Military. Wife is not a member of the Armed Forces. Current address, unknown. Currently, wife is in South Carolina, awaiting extradition to Colorado. So this is before she got extradited to Colorado. Remember when she was in South Carolina? Because they arrested her in South Carolina. So, because he didn't waste no time. I mean, as soon as they arrested her, he filed for this, it looks like. Well, he probably did it even before that when he saw that neighbor's video, when he realized that she most likely had something to do with it. I'm sure he started working on this dissolution. Okay, so it says, charged with first-degree murder of petitioner's son. Length of residence in Colorado, 1+ year. Remaining marital property and debts be equitably divided. Husband's dog, a 3 to 4 month old blue French bulldog named Sadie, shall be immediately returned to him. Wow, does she have him then? Did she bring him to South Carolina or something? Wonder if she took his dog and was like, nope, you're not getting your dog, and took him to South Carolina. Because it says shall be returned to him, immediately returned to him. Huh. That wife is not awarded spousal maintenance. That wife not be awarded attorney's fees and or costs associated with this divorce. The court enters such further orders as it deems appropriate. Okay, so now I'm going to read you this article that talks about Leticia Stauch's arrest history. The title is The Stepmother of Missing Colorado Boy Gannon Stauch had been arrested for an alleged string of crimes in 4 states under 3 different names before her arrest on Monday on suspicion of murder, criminal records show. So it says Leticia Stauch was even sentenced to prison after one arrest and has been convicted of charges including battery, grand theft auto, making threats, and DV. According to the docs, Leticia Stauch left her job as a teacher and gave no notice after claiming she was harassed by Gannon Stauch's mother. Leticia was arrested on Monday in Myrtle Beach on suspicion of first-degree murder in relation to the tragic disappearance of Gannon Stauch. These latest charges cap off a lengthy arrest record for Leticia that goes back 2 decades. Leticia Harden was an accomplished student who was frequently named to the honor roll and excelled in extracurricular activities when she was first picked up by police. It was soon after she graduated high school in 2001 that she was arrested for stealing a car in North Carolina. It was reported at the time that she was found guilty of felony larceny, which was reduced to misdemeanor unauthorized use of a vehicle. For that offense, Leticia was sentenced to 45 days in jail but given credit for time served. She was also put on probation for 18 months and ordered to pay just over $1,000. That same year, she was also charged with communicating threats and simple assault, but those counts seemed to be dropped as a part of her deal with the prosecutors in the felony larceny case, court docs show. It was also traffic offenses that got Leticia picked up in Virginia a few years later, but she was able to get off after paying a fine for these minor offenses, according to court records. Her next arrest was in 2010, by which time she was going by Leticia Hunt. The newly married teacher, who had graduated from Liberty University by then, was cited for domestic violence and domestic abuse in Horry County, South Carolina, court docs show. That is the same county she was arrested in on Monday. Those charges were eventually dropped, and there is no online record of the court filing. The clerk of courts of Horry County did not respond to multiple requests for comment over the past week. Leticia Hunt began going by Letecia soon after that arrest, and eventually got a job teaching in South Carolina. It was not long before the job led to problems between Leticia and the school district, however, when she abandoned her position. Leticia left her job at one school just 2 days into the school year without any warning or notice. In an email sent 2 days later, Leticia claims she left after being subject to bullying because the district superintendent was the uncle of Gannon's mother, Landon Hyatt. She had married Gannon's father, Eugene Albert Stauch, by then, a little over a year after divorcing her first husband. It was the second marriage for both husband and wife. The South Carolina Board of Education investigated the alleged harassment and retaliation campaign and determined Leticia's claims were unsubstantiated at a hearing. That investigation also found that Leticia had breached her contract by abandoning her post, and the board ruled to suspend her teaching license for 180 days. The order of suspension handed down by the South Carolina Board of Education states that Leticia signed a contract in 2015 with the Marion County School District. She then attended the 5-day training program for the district before starting her job as a middle school social studies teacher. According to the order, 2 days into the school year, Leticia stopped showing up to work. The Board of Education ruled that Leticia had breached her contract after they failed to substantiate any of her claims. Calls and emails went unanswered until 2 days later, when Leticia claimed that she had requested a transfer and was being bullied by staff. In that email, Mrs. Stauch indicated that she left the district because she experienced harassment and retaliation after requesting to be released from her contract due to a pending military move, which she claims had been denied, reads the Board of Education filing on the matter. She also alleged that district superintendent's niece was her husband's ex-wife and that the harassment and retaliation were due to this relationship. An investigation into these allegations failed to substantiate even one of Leticia's claims, according to the order. The case file also states that Leticia threatened to file a complaint against the district with Equal Employment Opportunity Commission if she were not let out of her contract. It was the district who ultimately filed a complaint, though, ruling that Leticia had abandoned her position and breached her contract. The decision was also based on the discovery that Leticia had accepted a position in another school district as well that year, the order states. On her LinkedIn profile, Leticia claims to have gone back to work after that suspension and worked as an education specialist for the state until 2018. The Board of Education confirmed this, telling the Sun that Leticia took a job in Dorchester County in 2017 and the following year in Berkeley County. She was certified to teach elementary school, special education, and secondary social studies, Colorado, as of March 2019, but is unclear if she ever began at any schools in the area. She wrote on her LinkedIn that she was working as a curriculum developer at School District 49 in Peyton, but there was no record of her having been employed by that county. Wow, so she does have a history. Remember, we were talking about that in a live, but when we were talking about how she threw Gannon over the bridge, if maybe she thought there was a body of water and she kind of misjudged it. So somebody had this on Facebook they posted, and it looks like there's that river right there, and she just missed it. I mean, if it was, I'm sure it was nighttime, and that she did that when, I would guess, in the middle of the night when there's barely any cars and nobody could see what she's doing. So maybe she just misjudged where the river was. I really think that that's what happened. I didn't even think about that until somebody mentioned it in the live. So then it makes you wonder, was she familiar with Florida in that area to know that there was that river right there? I mean, I guess it doesn't mean that she couldn't have went there in the day, tried to find a river, and then saw that river. And then when she went back at night, totally misjudged where the river was and threw it off the overpass, but missed the water.